Welcome back to my channel Desumed, or if you are new here, please check out my introductory video to know what my life is about. Today I will show you how I preserve meat in a freezer or in a salt box. Keep watching.
Eu quero morar numa casinha feita à mão, uma floresta onde eu possa plantar o que eu quiser e andar de pé no chão.
This year I was lucky, and the two female sheep I have had actually 3 lambs. So one sheep had 2 lambs at a time. But that also meant now that in the moment of slaughtering the animals, for meat production, I had more meat than I usually would have, and I was afraid that it wouldn't fit into my freezer. And I don't want to get a bigger freezer, and actually I don't want to depend on anything that works with electricity, although I'm off-grid. No, it's I only work on solar and wind, so if there's a fallout in the grid, I'm not affected. But anyhow, I don't want to buy a bigger freezer. So I decided to preserve the meat as has been done before. No, I've learned that here, how you can actually preserve meat in a salt bath. The problem was, I didn't have a salt bath, and you need a cool place where to position this salt bath. So first of all, what I did, I prepared a big hole in the wall behind my house, where the sun can't really get, and where the temperature is preserved very well, because the hole is inside the stone, and that was a lot of work, like getting the sand out of there, and but I had help from friends, so I didn't do it by myself, not all of it. And then from some old pallets I built a box, just cutting it in the right measures and in the right size, and without thinking a lot, just building a box. And then I had some old, well, not old, but some tiles, like the material from a blackboard, and I decided to use that for the walls and the floor of the box, because this is actually a kind of stone they also use for plates or to serve you food in the restaurant on this. So I thought, that will be good for food, to be in contact, in touch with food. So I built this box, and then the day came of slaughtering the 2 lambs, or I actually slaughtered 1 sheep and 1 lamb, and I had a long day cutting up all this meat into the right pieces and putting it into bags and putting it into the fridge, the first animal at least. And then when I figured out that the first animal was in the fridge, I saw that I still had space in the fridge. And in the end, I was able to put both of the animals into the fridge. So I didn't really need the salt box anymore. But I wanted to show you anyhow, because what you do, you have a big bag of salt and you salt the pieces of meat. You can find more information about this on other channels, and in the future I will show you also. So each piece of meat goes really like wrapped into salt, and the box is full of salt, and you put the meat really tight in there, and like this it is preserved for a long time. And before you want to consume it, you take the meat out again and you desalt it. So you put it into water so that all the salt goes out of the meat again. But now in my case that was not necessary. But I have the box anyhow, which is perfect, because when the potatoes from the garden will be done, I have a dark, cool place to store them. So thank you for watching. I want to invite you to try to be creative and recycle yourself. Just come up with ideas. If you have a problem, how could you solve that, build that? Just try it. Dare to try it.
Eu quero morar numa casinha feita à mão, uma floresta